Hi there, Japan fans. In today's show, we're going to talk about, given we're doing a lot of online presenting, what can we take from that experience and then transport that back into the face-to-face world? Are there some things we've had to change or things we could say now do a little bit differently? And audiences also, maybe they've been trained to accept presentations in a different way. Let's find out about that today. Preseno Master Shimashou. This is the Presentation Japan Series podcast. We are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku here in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guide committed to your success. I'm the president of Dale Carnegie Train Japan, the best-selling author, Japan Sales Mastery, and Japan Business Mastery. This podcast is here to help you become clear, confident, persuasive, and highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. Give it a 5-star rating. Say what a great podcast it is. Subscribe so you get it every week, and share it with others who need help in their presentation struggle with their reality. Now, here's our daily lineup. Podcasts every week we have on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show. Tuesday, the Presentation Japan Series. Every second Tuesday, we have the Business Tatsujin no Oshie program. Wednesdays, we have the Sales Japan Series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan Series. And every second Thursday, we have the Business Pro Podcasto. And then Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. And Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 205. 205. And we are getting very close to the 4-year mark on doing this podcast. Very close. That anniversary is coming up. Today we are talking about lessons from the virtual world for presenters. It was a strange feeling. I was back in the super safe classroom after 7 months of teaching solely live online. In the online world, we are engaging our audience every 2 minutes. Remember, this is the age of distraction. Audiences are weaponized at home with unseen devices to escape from our grasp and our message. They will be multitasking like demons on speed given the slightest pretext. We have to be very, very focused on keeping them engaged. Teaching live in the room, I had to suppress the urge to say, give me a green check or give me a smiley face to keep them active and on board with me. It led me to think about how much engagement I was getting previously with an audience. Occasionally, I might ask them to raise their hand in response to a question. This is a bit of a tricky thing. You can very quickly wear out your welcome with this type of request. There is that creeping feeling of being manipulated by the speaker. We are in the eye of the storm right now between the pre-COVID and the post-COVID era as presenters. This whole schmozzle will probably take at least a year or more to clean up once vaccines become widely available. What will be some of the differences around giving presentations when we get back to some semblance of normality? In the good old days, I would be looking for some head nodding to let me know if the audience were engaged or not. Is that going to cut it anymore? Our body positioning can be very dynamic. I was at a talk in my hometown of Brisbane where the presenter took this to another level. The speaker was announced by the MC, "Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our speaker today, Mr. Brown." There was no Mr. Brown. The stage was completely bereft of presenters. Suddenly he started. We could all hear his voice, but he was nowhere to be found. It was quite startling. We all sat there perplexed, craning our necks around left and right frantically, searching for the origin of the voice we could hear. He then very slowly and deliberately walked up the middle aisle from the very rear of the hall to the stage, speaking all the while. It was a spectacular entrance, I have to say, and quite bold to do it that way. I haven't had the guts to try that yet, but maybe now I will give it a go. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's show is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do many customized in-house programs for companies. Now, we do these in our Super Safe classroom, we do them online, we do them in Japanese, we do them in English. Today's show is sponsored by our Virtual Selling Mastery Preview, October 1st and October 15th. We're going to be running the Virtual Selling Mastery program. It's a 5-week, 3 hours at a time program for helping salespeople sell in the virtual environment. October 1st, October 15th is when we will start that, and then the actual classes will kick off in November. We're doing leadership training for managers. That's on October the 6th. That's a 7-week program. It starts October the 6th, 3.5 hours every night for 7 weeks. Awesome program on leadership, by the way. And then on October 26th, we are starting a 3-day immersion program of the Dale Carnegie course, Effective Human Relations and Communications, which is an awesome program too. That's a 12-week program normally. But we also do an immersion version over 3 days, October 22nd for that one. So check out our website at enjapan.dalecarnegie.com for information on those programs and lots of other value there for you. Now, to do better in Japan, you can email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, we've got over 1,000 there for you at Japan Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We are releasing 3 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out every Monday. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs up to the corporate captains of industry on the topic of leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday we release the Business Pro Television Show, and don't forget to get my book, The Bible on Selling, Japan Sales Mastery, and also my other bestseller, Japan Business Mastery. Both are available on Amazon. Welcome back. As I previously mentioned, we would teach students not to overdo the hand-raising bit, but what about from now on? Will live audiences be more comfortable with getting more involved in the talk? Let me make an important clarification here. I am not talking about those diabolically dreadful dross webinars where the speakers are captured in tiny boxes on screen like an assortment of cheap omiyage chocolates in a tacky box. These are very sad and boring affairs with all the talking heads just droning on and on. I'm talking about live online where there is tremendous interactivity. I'm unmuting you now, Tanaka-san, so please come on camera and share with us your thoughts. Or let's go to Suzuki-san for some comments on this issue. Suzuki-san, come off mute and tell us your ideas, please. Give me a green check, please, if this has been your experience too. Will we be calling on people for their comments on some issue? We always have a chance to get there early and meet a few of the punters as they arrive. We remember their names, or maybe we made a note on their meishi, their business card. We take the opportunity to have a conversation on the topic before proceedings get underway. We could say, Tanaka-san, earlier we were speaking about this very issue. You had a very interesting take on it, and would you mind sharing it with everyone? Can we get a mic for Tanaka-san, please? Will we be walking into our audience more, using our body language to get up close and personal? Yes, Bacol is a well-known speaker here in Tokyo and must be the most entertaining economist in captivity. He will suddenly lurch forward to where you are sitting in the first or second row, tower over you and hammer you with a rhetorical question. The problem is you have no idea if this is a question you have to answer or whether he will answer it himself. Trust me, when he swings your way with that question, you break into a sweat because usually these are questions for which you have no good answer. He has your full attention. The live online rule is you must have interaction every 2 minutes. For the in-person talk, that would be too much, I think. However, as audiences have been trained to accept more interaction with the speaker, maybe we have to lift our game and get them more involved than we did in the past. Let's try it when we next get an opportunity to present in a real rather than a virtual room. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to rate 5 stars, review. What an awesome podcast. Subscribe. Make sure you get it every week. And share this podcast on iTunes with other people who are hopeless speakers so that you and I in the future will never have to be completely decimated by their awful presentations. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for listening. And please tune in next week. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy, committed to your success here in Nippon.